Yeah, because you're, yeah. Hey, what is up, everybody? Yeah, because you're a member, so then you get extra stuff. Because remember, yeah, that's, huh?
It says 99 cents a month.
You already have that. I already did it for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. Guys, what is up, everybody? After yesterday's trabacle and disaster of a preview show because we have audio issues and we don't hear them and see them right away, you guys couldn't hear me, and I'm sure you guys didn't hear anything I had to say about what I think will go down tomorrow now at WrestlePalooza. So we are here today to do the exact same thing and run it back like Jey Uso likes to do with his entrance. And now I'm going to give you my thoughts, my predictions on what will go down in Indianapolis tomorrow night on the first pay-per-view. Yes, we can say pay-per-view now on ESPN. Make sure you get that bundle. It is honestly, I saw it on there. It says it's $44.95 for like the no ad version, and then it is $34.99 after taxes with the ad version. And it even says there are still shows that are limited to ads. To be honest, I'm gonna wait and see what happens, and we're gonna see how it goes and everything else like that. J Dog has been a member for 5 months. Appreciate it. What's up, Ian and Too Sweet Kyle? You guys know, if you guys have seen him, we've been talking about all week. Kyle is representing the Main Event Network at WrestlePalooza. Kyle and Ian, hope you guys have some fun, take some pictures, all that good stuff. I'm gonna watch it over. I appreciate you, J Dog. Thank you so much. Hanging and coming out. But guys, let's not waste any more time and let's go over all the matches that we'll be talking about and seeing play out tomorrow on ESPN. We got the mixed tag team match that is 10 years in the making. It's Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch as they take on AJ Lee and CM Punk, as it looks like that could be the main event. We got Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the championship. It's going down. We'll see the contract signing tonight for SmackDown. Yes, guys, we will also be live here tonight at 7 o'clock for Friday Night SmackDown. After a couple of weeks off, we're back for Friday nights. We got Io Sky and Stephanie Valkyrie as they take each other on, and it's for the vacant Women's Championship. Who will walk out, the former champ, or is Stephanie Valkyrie going to become and get her first main roster title? It is the other tag team match. It's the Usos after not teaming for a while. We going back to the Uso Penitentiary as they take on the Bronsons. It's Bron Breakker. It's Bronson Reed. It's a tag team match that very interested to see how it plays out. And it has been announced on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. It is the main event of WrestlePalooza. It is the one and it is last time. It's John Cena, the last real champion, taking on the Beast, making his return. He made his unexpected return back at SummerSlam, and then he came out during the U.S. Open Challenge with Sami Zayn and John Cena in Chicago, took him out, and he said he's going to see his bitch ass at WrestlePalooza. Well, it's going down. John Cena, Brock Lesnar. And those are the matches that we have that will be playing out this Saturday, tomorrow now, as of this recording, and as of, yes, we are live here. I'm not recording this, but as of this episode will be tomorrow. We'll have to see what will go down on SmackDown tonight. You guys, as you said, we have Brock Lesnar showing up. Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes will be signing the contract. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair will defend the titles against that Secret Hervis. And a couple other things, I'm sure. He said, get Cody. Get Cody. Get Cody where? What am I getting Cody for? John and Brock will start off and not end the show. I thought they said that John, or no, you know what? You're absolutely right. I lied. Thank you, J Dog, because I got that mixed up. Wait, no, I swear they said that. Did they say that they were starting off the show? You're right. I think they did. You're absolutely right. Anyway, we'll get to that. But let's talk about it, and let's get to the first match that we are going to talk about. I'm going to look that up because of J Dog. I think you're actually right. I think I didn't. You're right. I did. It's been a long 24 hours. But anyway, we'll talk about that match later. It is the first match that we're going to talk about. It is the Usos. As I said, we going back to the Uso Penitentiary. It's been a while since they've teamed together as they're taking on two members of the Vision, or not the Vision. Are they the Bronsons? Are they a part of the Vision? I don't know what we're doing here. But Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, I'm happy for them. As you guys saw in NXT Homecoming, and we talked about it on the show while we watched it. I've just enjoyed seeing all of the people go and get some type of shine, especially the NXT superstars. And I'm hoping that we see a lot more of it, especially with these two, because I do think down the line we are going to see Braun Breaker main event of WrestleMania. And I mean, shit, at this point, it could be against it could be against Brock Lesnar, could be against the freaking Cody Rhodes, it could be against the Seth Rollins. I think that's exactly what they're leading to is Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker for the title. And then Braun takes the title off of Seth if CM Punk does not do that himself. But this match, it's going to be a good one. Very interested to see how it plays out and see where it goes and all the crazy things that they can do. You guys know also how I feel about stipulations. I would love to see a stipulation match added to a bunch of these matches. I don't think that obviously they will. It's just going to be a regular, obviously, tag team match. I'm sure we'll see Paul Heyman be by the side of the Bronsons. Maybe we'll see somebody come out and do some type of shenanigans. And depending on where this match is and everything else, maybe Seth will be a part of it. I doubt it. I'm sure I'll just give some pep talk in the back and, be like, go get him, guys, and I'll see you later. I got to focus on AJ Lee because I think Seth's kind of worried about AJ Lee. But either way, after it's all said and done with these guys, I'm going to say, and I'm going to take the Bronsons to win. I think that, and I said yesterday in the preview show that we did that nobody could hear me on, that I thought the Usos would win their returning match, but I don't really know how it would help them. And I also said that we saw it on Monday night, we could very well be seeing a heel Jey Uso. And what if they lose the match and Jey turns on Jimmy? I think that would be an interesting, twist to things. And maybe they run back their rivalry after they had that awful match at WrestleMania. So I'm going to say the Bronsons win. They get a little momentum, and the Vision continues. And as going into the other tag team match, the Vision feels like they have all the control. Because I do think that even though AJ Lee and Becky Lynch are a part of the match, I do think the Bronsons will get a part, and they will be a part of the mixed tag team match later on in the show. Now, let's get to the first title match that I want to talk about here tonight, and it is for the vacant Women's Championship, World Women's Championship. It was held by Miss Naomi, but obviously her and Big Jim have been doing their own thing and having a baby Oos coming in 6-7 months. What did she say? She was like 3 weeks pregnant, so yeah, like 8 months, but we're going to crown a new champion. It's Io Sky, it's the former champ, as she takes on Stephanie Valkyrie La Primera, not La Pantera. I can't believe I said La Pantera for so long and so many months and nobody said anything. Oh, I guess you guys didn't. I don't know why. But Stephanie Valkyrie, Io Sky, dream match. Stephanie was just recently on the Chris Van Vliet podcast Insight, and she was talking about it, how she loves Io Sky. She's been, she hasn't even been here for a year. And this is a match that I think a lot of us have been wanting to see and very excited to see. And there's so many dream matches that Stephanie can have, just like we talked about with the AJ Lee return and all the matches that she could have. Stephanie Valkyrie, I think, winning the title here. There's really not too much, honestly, to say about this match because it's going to be a great match. They're both going to put on a good performance, and hopefully they come out with some crazy things to do to make it feel big because obviously this being the first pay-per-view on ESPN, I think they're going to try to have, hopefully, because again, Triple H went on ESPN yesterday and today and said, expect the biggest show of all time and blah, blah, blah. But he says that every time. And sometimes he delivers, sometimes he doesn't. If I'm going to, and if he wants to deliver, just make every match feel different. But either way, in the end, I'm saying we have a champion. And her name is Stephanie Valkyrie. Because as I said to Io Sky, nothing against Io Sky, but if I have to see Io Sky take on Rhea Ripley again for the 6,000th time, I don't know if I can go through that rivalry again. And there's so many new rivalries that Stephanie can have, especially if she does win the title. The one thing I do fear is that hopefully if she does win the title, hopefully she does not get to where we had it happen with Julia with what is going on, which is the U.S. champion. And people seem to forget that she is the U.S. champion, even though she has had some really good matches. And, I don't know. I personally don't mind the pairing with Kiana James, but I know a lot of people don't like that pairing. And that's okay. I get it. But I don't know. For me, I enjoy it. Now, let's get to the next championship match. And it is a match that it is, 13 14 years in the making, I guess. And we've kind of seen them had some semi interactions and everything. But I said it yesterday when nobody could hear me. We had Stardust. We had Cody Rhodes with no knee pads and short black hair. We had Drew McIntyre doing a fake guitar and 3MB and a bandana looking like The Undertaker. Well, all these years later, we're here for the world title. It's the American Nightmare. It is the Scottish Warrior. It is for the world championship. I said I got Cody. It said get Cody. I swear your message said get Cody. But anyway, J-Dog says he's taking Cody Rhodes. And I agree with J-Dog on that because I do think that Cody Rhodes is going to win the match. We obviously just saw him return last week on SmackDown. We talked about it in the recap episode that we did last night after SmackDown. He returned in the main event with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. And he said he's going to see Drew McIntyre at WrestlePalooza. We've obviously been waiting for Cody's return after he got done filming the Street Fighter and the Naked Gun, I think it was called, with Liam Neeson that he recently filmed also that just came out. So Cody Rhodes is back. He's the champion. And that was the one thing I just felt like that was kind of just like, why do we give Cody Rhodes a championship if he's going to be gone filming a movie? Nothing against Cody, but go and fill your movie and everything else like that. I'm skipping. What am I skipping, J-Dog? Am I skipping?
No.
Okay. Thank you. So.
We were earlier a little bit, but my internet's the same as yours. So.
Okay, got you. Just want to make sure. Hopefully, J-Dog, we don't have too many issues. I can't have anything there. I swear. I think God said, I'm gonna put you through hell and we're gonna figure it out together. But these two are gonna go through hell. And in the end, Cody Rhodes is gonna hit a couple crossroads. And Cody Rhodes is going to win this match against Drew McIntyre. I hope, and I'm not saying I don't think that we won't see this again. I truly don't want to see it again just for the simple fact that I feel like Cody Rhodes could go and face somebody else, but at the next pay-per-view, which is looking like it is Crown Jewel, if I'm not mistaken, we are most likely going to get Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes number 2. And then maybe they're in War Games or something else like that. But for this one and for the first one, other than possibly having it end in some double count out or some type of shenanigans, I'm saying the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes walks out. And he is your champion against Drew McIntyre. And he retains his title. Now, before we get to the final two matches I want to talk about, let's get to the chat. Let's catch up and let's see what is going on. Because I did not get to the chat right away. Which is okay. Here we are. J-Dog, 5 months as a member. I appreciate you, J-Dog. Hey, what's up, Joe? How are you doing? What's up, Cassie? How are you doing? Too Sweet Kyle. Thank you for Too Sweet Kyle and Ian hanging out for a couple seconds. I'm saying, you're saying you're going to watch WrestlePalooza on your TV. I'm sorry. Ian... Why isn't Ian going? You didn't buy Ian a ticket? I mean, just get him in the door. Figure it out. Did you also? I did see shout out to I think it's the Tag Team Women's Wrestling. They were showing that the tickets have actually went down a lot, and it's still very expensive. But I guess now for the floor seats, it went from $5,000 to $900, which, yes, I know that's still a lot of money, but it's not for floor seats, I guess that's not bad for a ESPN pay-per-view. But again, I guess if you're going with somebody, it turns into, 2,000, all that. It all adds up, I guess, right? I did make a TikTok. You're right, J-Dog. I did make a TikTok. I don't know why I thought John Cena and Brock Lesnar were main eventing because I really don't know. And now that you say that, you're right, because when nobody was listening yesterday and when I was talking to myself and I was just sitting here, I said that they are going to be opening the first ever PLE on ESPN with Mr. 17, John Cena, and Brock Lesnar. So thank you, J-Dog, for that. What would I do and what would I do without J-Dog? I don't know. He said, I got the Usos. We had that in NXT 2.0. First, Seth versus Braun. We did, you're right. We did have that. Seth and Braun. Well, that's one of those things too, is where I hope that they kind of go back to that, and they go back to where they, like with AJ Lee and Roxanne. I hope that they play into her meeting AJ Lee and being a big fan and everything else like that. You got to play into that stuff, because that's what makes these rivalries feel a lot better, and just make it feel where it's not so, you know. I love the realism of some of these feuds, because that's just sometimes what it's all about, and everything else. And now there I go, trying to fix the camera. Anyway, I have got Drew winning. Interesting, Joe. Why do you have Drew winning? What if that? I mean, it could. I mean, again, don't put anything past it. And like I always say it, don't always, expect the unexpected sometimes. And the one thing I will say with WWE as of late, they do feel like they have been kind of like swerving people a little bit, because with Seth faking the injury and everything, it's like you really can't believe everything that you see on the internet. And I also said it yesterday. There were 16,000 people on and at SmackDown in Chicago based on a rumor and based on people talking online. I could have put that out there, or Joe Schmo could have put that out there, and we could have seen anything happen where, she doesn't show up, and they got their money, and they got exactly what they wanted. They got people to show up, they got people to spend money, and nothing crazy happened. Well, 16,000 people showed up, including myself and Cassie, and we waited in line, and we saw the return of Miss AJ Lee and everything else like that. So it's just one of those things that there could be something that none of us are talking about right now, and there's nobody that we're talking about as of right now that could return, or somebody, that just is completely been gone for a while, that you never really know. And Triple H said it, if you want to make this show a big show, you have to have some things happen, even if it is, just the littlest of return. I want to see Rey Mysterio return, because as you guys know, Mr. Great Brown Hope on the Main Event Network just hates Rey Mysterio. And I want to see Rey Mysterio come back and have himself a good old time, because Rey Mysterio's the GOAT, and I don't care what anybody says. But Byron has to say, Stephanie must have competitive championship reign, and yes, that's the biggest thing too. Just like we talked about it with Julia, is that Julia really hasn't had any type of a title reign, and she really hasn't done anything with the title besides face Meacham and a couple other people, and that's about it. So I completely agree with you on that, because if we do not have any type of good title reign, it's just going to make it feel like that it's not as, as important as it sometimes should be. And I just don't know why do you give the person the title if you're not going to make them feel legit and make them feel like they're an actual like main part, especially if when you have this first title that you're trying to build and make feel legitimate. I'm watching WP on the iPad because I don't know where to watch on my TV. Listen, I feel you, J Dog. Jay Uso or yeah, listen. I thought LA Knight was gonna turn on Monday. He's another one. I said I got Cody, not get. Okay, I'm sorry. J Dog, I'm sorry. Skipping my fault. It exited me out. Well, how does it sound on your end now? What's up, B-Man? Am I the only one who is mad that the WWE is going overseas? I do not think you're the only one, because there are a lot of people, especially like WrestleManias. We saw what happened with Vegas last year. Vegas got WrestleMania 41, and now they're getting WrestleMania 42. Well, if they make a buttload of money, and if Triple H and Stephanie are rolling around in money and they're having money baths and money pools, then I feel like we very well could see WrestleMania 44 also in Saudi Arabia, or if they take a year off, they go back by 45. And that's my biggest gripe with it, because you take it away and you take away an opportunity for people that, if you saw the rumored WrestleMania, if you guys remember, WrestleMania was supposed to happen in New Orleans this year. It was supposed to happen in, I think I forgot where it was supposed to happen at 43, but then 44 was supposed to be in Minnesota. And for me, Minnesota is a very close state that is not too far away that I would definitely book a trip to go to Minnesota. And it just takes away the ability for people that may have never been to a WrestleMania, people that go every year. Maybe that's their yearly trip with their family, because there's people that do that. They buy the priority passes, they buy the hotels, they do what they got to do, and they go to WrestleMania. And hey, that's what you do with your money. That's what you do with your money. But, you also, like you guys know, if it is in Saudi Arabia, the Saudi president, the Saudi leader, he buys the tickets. The whole state, country, they all go from Saudi and they watch and everything else. There really isn't any fans that are allowed in there from what I know. And if that is something that I am wrong about, please let me know in the chat. But from what I am mistaken and from what I know, there is no fans that is allowed in that stadium. So they're going to make a buttload of money, but they're also going to lose a lot of fans that would go to the show. But again, to them, it's all about the money. What's up, Michelle? How you doing? She says, La Primera, Cena, Punk, and AJ division. I have got Drew personally. I think The Rock. What does The Rock do, though? If The Rock is in Indianapolis, then The Rock is going to get involved because as far as I know, he's not doing any movies at the moment. You're absolutely right about that. He did just have the new movie come out. Yes, just put it out there. Yes, I'm just going to put it out there. You're right on that. He did just have the one wrestling movie come out, a boxing movie come out. I forgot who it's based on. But that would be a very good reason to come back and promote it because that's what he's worried about. Gunther, they said, could return at any moment. Shit, he could return tonight. Also for AEW All Out, that's right. AEW, guys, I keep forgetting AEW has pay-per-views and everything else like that. We will figure it out, and if we can watch AEW All Out, we will. But we have pay-per-views going head-to-head. We have No Mercy next week. We have freaking Crown Jewel in 3 weeks. We have Survivor Series in a month. It's Thanksgiving's in a month. Christmas is in 2 months. Shit, 2026 is going to be here before you know it. Could Don Callis turn on Kyle if he loses? Very well. Don Callis loves to turn as soon as people start losing. You got to be there for the grind. But Don Callis said, no, you don't win. You don't get to be a part of it. What if Paige returns because Paige is not in AEW anymore? I think Paige is going to return. But if Paige is going to return, I said it when we were booking AJ Lee's return and her 1 year. You have Paige return at a show like Indianapolis on ESPN in Indianapolis. Maybe she does interfere with Stephanie and Io, or she goes right after her old rival, Miss AJ Lee, after the tag team match. But if you're going to do it also, you could wait until the Raw after WrestleMania. You could wait until the beginning of the year, the first Raw on Netflix of 2026, the 1 year anniversary, because we're going to see a year anniversary show. But I also, like I said, I think the Royal Rumble would also be a very good place for it because I forget, where is it at? Is it in Minneapolis this year, right? Or I don't know. Somebody in the chat let me know. You guys will know more than I would where it's at because all these pay-per-views are blending in at this point. But her returning as the 1 or 2 entrant like we saw with the Naomi return or Alexa Bliss return randomly, when that music hits, it's going to be one of those moments that we never forget. But my best bet is I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna say the Royal Rumble. I think something will happen, but what Joe is saying, it very well could be possible that the big thing is The Rock coming back and getting involved, and maybe, just maybe, guys, we will finally get answers to what The Rock had anything to do with that John Cena heel turn. Because if we could. Nashville. That's what it was. So WrestleMania 43 is supposed to be in Nashville, and then 44 is going to be in Minneapolis. Thank you, Joe. But that's what I'm just, I think with what Joe has sold me on The Rock returning. Dragunov. I think we should see Gunther come out, and then as Gunther's talking, kind of like what we saw when Undertaker and Triple H set up their match at WrestleMania 27. If you guys remember, they were promoting it. Somebody was kicking down the door. who was it. We all obviously knew who it was because the way they do it, it was The Undertaker. Who else is dong and kicking down doors with purple smoke? But the one thing we did not know is that Triple H followed right behind them, and then they stared at the WrestleMania sign. And obviously, there is no WrestleMania sign to stare at. But Dragunov and Gunther rerunning their rivalry back from back in NXT UK and NXT, that's what we need to see on the main roster. Then Castelline turns up and she takes out Io Sky. Stephanie Valkyrie steals the title and brings it home. Royal Rumble, and that's okay, you're right. Royal Rumble is in Saudi. SummerSlam is in Minneapolis. Thank you, Michelle. I don't know if Gunther has beaten Dragunov. I don't know. I'll look that up. But before we do that, let's talk about the match that will start off the PLE. Thank you to J-Dog for reminding me about me making my own short and TikTok that they said it. Triple H announced it on the Pat McAfee show. It will not be main eventing the show. Instead, it will be starting off the show. It's Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, Disrespect, Respect, Mr. 17, Never Seen, John Cena, as he takes on Brock Lesnar, and they go at it one last time in a WWE ring. It's John, it's Brock, and as I've said multiple times, we did it on the simulation. This match would have been so much better if they had a stipulation. Because if it is going to be the last time, why not just go all out? Dragunov's record against Gunther is 1-2. They are 1-2 against each other, which makes Gunther 2-1. So they could run a fourth match back, and I would love to see it. Brock and Cena, though, it's just a regular singles match, which is fine. It should still be very good. Hopefully they bring out some crazy stuff. Maybe we see some stuff from their matches back in the day. I'm sure John Cena is going to go to Suplex City a few times. Maybe Brock gets hit with a couple FUs, attitude adjustments. I'm sure he'll get put in the what is it? I just call it the STFU. That's what we're gonna call it, because that's what it was back in the day before it all turned PG. What's his I forget what his submissions move's called. Tino, take a nap. You've been screaming no. What's the nap? I stream every day. It gives me a different type of adrenaline. I love it. And episodes like yesterday frustrate me so much that I just had to come back here and redo it, because as you guys can see, I could sit here and talk all day long. And we'll be back in less than an hour to talk about, and we'll watch Friday Night SmackDown. John Cena, though, is going to not, I said it yesterday, Brock Lesnar, if they were going to wrestle again, just like Cody Rhodes and John Cena beat Cody the first time, and then Cody beat John Cena at SummerSlam. And they aren't going to go at it again because, as you guys know, after this date, we have 5 dates left of John Cena. There is no more time for John Cena after this. We're running out of time. We're running out of dates. And I just don't see them facing each other once again. That is why I'm going to say John Cena wins this match. He's going to hit a couple FUs, a couple of F5. Maybe John Cena would hit an F5. That would be sick. I would love to see John Cena and I would love to see him hit an F5. That would be so sick. But John Cena going to win. We'll see how it plays out. It is starting off the show, as J-Dog said and as has reminded me. Thank you again. John Cena, though, I find it so funny, the fact that the first show on ESPN is going to start off with Brock Lesnar and John Cena. To where, if you were to tell me that, and also, yes, all PLEs will now be on ESPN, $30 a month. John's only got 2 more PLEs, pay-per-views left, and Crown Jewel and Survivor Series, to be exact, if anybody wants to know. It's one of those things that's not what I had in my bingo, especially Brock Lesnar with all the shenanigans that have been going on. But after that starts off the show and we watch the other 3 matches, it will be time for the main event of the day. and WrestlePalooza, Mr. No Days Off Teen. I got it on a t-shirt. 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. Tino time, no days off. Hit the F5. You'd be down in a breath, maybe. Taking an Kyle, if I take a nap, I don't take naps. I fall asleep for 4 to 5 hours. You guys like the giant ass zit on my face right here? This is what happens when you drink too much pop. Can't drink. This is why we drink key lime water. I don't break out in zits. But it's main event time, and after 10 and a half years, a match that I don't think we all or any of us had on our card for WrestlePalooza or any PLE pay-per-view this year. It happened, guys, 2 weeks ago from today. How does 2 weeks fly by? We saw the return of Miss AJ Lee for the first time since WrestleMania and around after WrestleMania 31. I forgot the exact date that she retired, and she put out that tweet. I don't know why. I feel like it was like June 15th, right around there, that she put that tweet out. But after that, and after 10 years, CM Punk had to make a call after Becky Lynch decided to slap him around a little. CM Punk said he ain't going to hit a woman, but he called somebody that did and that can. And it's AJ Lee, the former Divas champion, the former GOAT. And as she said, your wrestler's favorite wrestler. And if you don't know who AJ Lee is, and I said it in her return, when we predicted her return, she is a former Divas champion. She is one of the revolutionary and one of the ones that started making women's wrestling feel not pulling hair and not just about the bra and panty matches and the pudding matches and all the weird stuff that they used to do back in the day. And she finally came out, and she was just somebody, especially when she first started in NXT on the game show with Naomi. It was crazy to see how far they've been coming, how far that they can do. And also, as we talked about, there were no women's main events. There was no Hell in the Cell matches, Elimination Chamber matches, Royal Rumble matches. There were nothing for the women to do besides having 3 to 5 minute matches. And with John Cena and Brock Lesnar being the opening, it only makes sense this match is closing the show. And you got to think about that. AJ Lee will be main eventing a WWE pay-per-view in the year 2025. That's just crazy to say because we never thought she'd return. She said that she wouldn't return, and she's even said it. The reason why she did is because people have been chanting her name. People have been showing up at signings. People ask her all the time, and she feels like she doesn't feel like, but she wants to do it for her fans, and she wants to do it for everybody that has been there for her since she left. And it's just so good to see AJ Lee back. And it's also good, I feel like, and we talked about it also, that I did, and we're not surprised that the first match back is a tag team match. It seems like when they do bring people back, they put themselves in a tag team match, get the ring rust off, because that's real. It's been a long time. And obviously she's done heels. She seems to be training, obviously, being married to CM Punk. I'm sure Punk's like, hey, babe, you want to go and train with me and all of that? And I just cannot wait to see her back in the ring. It's going to be a good time, this match. I said 20-minute entrances, 20-minute promo package, probably a 25-minute match. You know dang well this is going to take up a lot of the show, and I'm okay with that. I'm excited to see it go down. Again, as I always say with my expectations, I'm not expecting this to be the greatest match of all time because obviously it is her first match back. I think we're going to see Punk and Seth carry it a lot, and we're going to see them maybe in the ring a little bit more. Maybe we'll see Punk and Becky get into some type of interaction. Maybe AJ will hit a Black Widow on Seth Rollins. Maybe Punk, maybe Becky will hit, we'll have to see what shenanigans goes down with these four. I'm excited to see it. I don't think we'll see them on SmackDown tonight. I'm sure we'll just see some video packages and all the things like we always do. But this match should be a very good one. And in the end, I'm going to say AJ Lee hits the Black Widow on Becky Lynch in the middle of the ring, and she gets her to tap out, just like she did to Naomi. Was it Naomi, Nikki Bella, or Brie Bella at WrestleMania 30? In her second to last WrestleMania, the last time she defended the title at WrestleMania, when she won that Vicky Guerrero's Divas Invitational, when they just put all the women on the roster in the match, and AJ Lee ended up winning. And that's exactly what's going to happen on tomorrow at WrestlePalooza. AJ Lee's going to win, and that is going to set up the match that I think that will happen. And I told you guys we're going to keep track on how right and how wrong I was in that video that we did last week. I'm going to say Becky Lynch and AJ Lee compete for the Intercontinental Women's Championship at at Crown Jewel at the next PLE pay-per-view in and on the show and on the card for the WWE programming. But, as I said, AJ Lee, CM Punk, going to pick up the dub and get the win here. Guys, that's all I got here for you. We got 5 matches, and we have a new 3, that's my thing, and that's my question that I have for them. Does it mean because we're paying $30 that the show's going to be longer? Is this where we get these limited ad BS? I'm just very interested to see how this plays out and how this goes. But either way, we'll be here live tomorrow for WrestlePalooza, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm sure they'll have like an hour pre-show. I'm very interested to see that too. How long is the pre-show? Do they have stuff on ESPN? We'll talk about it tomorrow as the day goes on. But for the first time ever, an ESPN WWE collab. It's going down tomorrow at 7, as I said on the ESPN app. Get your $30. Come and watch WrestlePalooza with your boy Tino. But if you don't want to watch and you don't want to pay for it, just come and hang out here, and I'll let you know what goes down. But before we get to WrestlePalooza, we got one more show, and we got things to go down tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. We have the return of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. As we saw last week, he took out Drew McIntyre. He returned during the main event, and we saw him not win, but say he's going to face Drew McIntyre at WrestlePalooza. Well, tonight in the main event, they signed in that contract, and it's going to be a good one. We all know how contract signing ends. Let's see if it does the same. Brock Lesnar will be starting off the show. He will be starting off SmackDown tonight, as it seems like Brock has some questions or maybe some answers for Mr. John Cena. It's another U.S. Open Challenge. We got Sami Zayn, the champ, right there, as he puts the championship on the line as Mello. Guys, we talked about it on NXT Night Shift. We talked about it on Tuesday. Why did NXT, in a matter of 20 minutes, make Carmelo Hayes feel like a main event superstar compared to what they do on the main roster? I don't know what it is, but let's see Carmelo Hayes. He don't miss. Give me the jerseys. Give me Carmelo Hayes. And I don't think he's going to win this match, but I would love to see it happen. Sami Zayn probably going to win the U.S. title again. But the Sami Zayn U.S. Open Challenge is going back on as Carmelo is going to take his shot. We also have the Secret Hervis and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair putting the tag titles on the line against the Secret Hervis, Chelsea Green and Alba Fire with Piper Niven by their side. It's another Friday Night SmackDown, guys. We go live in 50 minutes for the show. I appreciate you all coming and hanging out here with me as we redid the preview show, and hopefully the audio and hopefully everything was a lot better than it was yesterday. And you guys were able to hear me, and I didn't just waste another 40 minutes talking. But for now, we're going to go eat some dinner. We're going to go have a little break, and I'll see you guys at 7 o'clock for Friday Night SmackDown. Go hit that like button, subscribe on the road to 4K. Turn that notification button on. Go check out the Main Event Network, the Southside Boys, which we had Corey from the Minor League Minute, and you guys know Corey from Armchair Athletes, our guy. He was nice enough to join us over on the Southside Boys to talk some baseball. So if you are a baseball fan and you want to watch that for a couple of minutes, Corey has some really good insight on some White Sox baseball. Guys, enjoy the rest of your Friday night if I don't see you tonight for SmackDown. And hopefully I will. And if not, we'll see you all tomorrow for WrestlePalooza. Deuces.